there's a baby like screaming outside for quite a few minutes now. So let me hopefully get this video in before he starts screaming again. All right, I guess I could close the window. Anyway, it was a super fun trading day again today, except we kind of gave back all of our profits by the end of the day. I think, overstayed my welcome. And there's one kind of new rule that I'm gonna kind of make out of this one, and I wrote it down here. Basically, if I'm gonna trade the 5-minute breakout, 1-minute pullback, we have to be above VWAP, because I've noticed this month specifically, a lot of my trades that are kind of these small losers that just kind of chip away at my profits on the day are these 5-minute breakouts, 1-minute pullback below VWAP. That seems to be the key area. Basically, a stock that is just trending downwards, has a little bit of attempt to break higher, and then goes back down and then I buy on those attempts to break back higher, because sometimes they work really well. So I'm not gonna have one caveat, and that's if we're having giant amount of volume. So if there's a huge amount of volume, I will consider going into it. But if it's just a little blue spike or green spike, I'm gonna leave it alone. What I do phenomenal today, and I gotta give myself a little pat on the shoulder about this one, sometimes you gotta toot your own horn, is the fact that I stuck to my plan out of the gate. So out of the gate, I saw a beautiful opportunity with DLPN, and I snagged a really nice 11% trade. I should have kept on getting more aggressive after that 11% trade, and then just boom, there's another opportunity to do that 2 more times in a row. So, you know, if you have a hot trade and the stock is trending upwards and you're getting nice breakouts, you're getting nice pullbacks, why not get more aggressive? I should have been done with trading. I should have used all 4 of my trades basically in that first, 15 minutes. So if that happens, it happens, and I have to let myself be open to that. I think there's a big thing when I trade and having these limited trades, and I know that I'm going to stream a little bit longer, that I'm like, oh, I should hold some trades for the evening or the late morning. But honestly, I should just, boom, first 15 minutes, blam, blam, blam. If I see good setups, I just got to keep jumping on them. And if I run out of trades in the first 15 minutes, so be it. It is what it is. But it's better than like having this kind of like, okay, well, I have 1 trade left, I have 2 trades left. Let me see if I can find an opportunity. But let's go to the charts now. Let's see if you guys can identify the trend that I'm talking about, the 5-minute breakout and the 1-minute pullback below VWAP specifically, because I don't highlighted too much in the recap video. Near the end of the recap video, I'll also talk a little bit about Trade Journal and how you guys will be able to see more of my trades if you guys want to. So definitely stick around for that. Other than that, guys, don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. And if you're totally new, consider subscribing. We go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. to first review the watch list and then trade the market open every day. And it's always a good time on the stream. Honestly, it is. Even when we're making fun of each other, it's a good time. Or you guys are making fun of me for my bad trades or whatever it is. Enough of the rambling, let's go to the charts now. Welcome back, guys. Well, I was going to wait till these church bells stop ringing, but I don't know if it's ever going to happen. Local time at 6 p.m. I don't know if you guys hear it. I don't think it's going to be too bad. So I'm just going to go. Okay, so... wow, what a fun little day today. It started off so hot and everything was going right. I stuck to my plan. I did exactly what I wanted. But then, I started... I don't know. We'll talk about it, and you guys comment below. Let me know what you think my problem was today. Or if you think there even was a problem. Maybe it just, this time it didn't work out. I don't know. You guys let me know. And maybe I'll figure it out as we talk about it. So out of the gate, DLPN. This one was our second lead gapper on the day, and everything was looking really, really hot on it. Let me quickly go. No, DLPN. I don't know what... I've been saying H and M and all sorts of stuff today with DLPN. I don't know why I've been all over the place with this one. But we had some pretty nice moves on DLPN. Let me quickly recap what it's doing here. So if you're watching this like a year from now, you'll know what's going on. And honestly, it's a good refresher all the time. I say this many times during the live stream. I like what the stock fundamentally has been up to. For example, DLPN gapping up 160% pre-market, this whole move right here. 15 million float, US entertainment company with a creative campaign kind of partnership. The whole catalyst felt a little bit weird to me. I felt like it was totally overextended and it wasn't going to really have the best not necessarily follow through in the first 15 minutes, but I didn't really think that it was going to hold its highs today. That was kind of my general consensus. And it kind of is holding the highs okay. If you say like maybe 1.5 is, big support and resistance. We did pull back around 40% though from the highs. So in my book, that's not really holding the highs too well. But whatever, you know, this stock is between $2 and $7 when we traded it. It's exactly in my price target. It has a float of 15 million, which is pretty all right, gapping up 160%, has a catalyst, has fast rate of change, so it's moving very quickly. So it fits my criteria to the T. Pre-market, you know, a little bit choppy here, but making it, or not choppy, but didn't find a good entry in this area. I wasn't really feeling it. But 5-minute chart, look at this. Big support down here at about 1.8. And, you know, this is going to be an interesting spot for a potential breakout. So we had a nice move higher here. This was a 10% move. Quickly pulled back again. I entered here on the pullback. I unfortunately got not the best entry because this is obviously an extended decimal place stock, which means if you try to like randomly buy, let's say right here, right? I'm gonna get an error message, and you guys all know this who use TOS. It's the most ridiculous bug that TOS has, and I don't know why they don't fix it. It just does not make any sense to me. It freaks me out a little bit. Whatever, no complaining. So sorry, the system did not accept your order, yada yada. Basically, the decimal places, I can only buy on 2 decimal places, but they show me 4 decimal places, which makes it extremely stressful to enter the stock. Not to mention, it gives you a bad idea of what the order book looks like. What does the spread actually look like? You can use this, which helps a lot, which shows that the spread is pretty tight. There's obviously a 1 cent spread looking pretty good, but the problem is you can't really place your orders quickly here. And this is how I typically place my orders. So what I do is I just say join the bid, and then I say send, or I edit my price, which if you edit the price, by the time you're done editing the price, forget about it. This move is over. So that's the only problem. You're kind of like hoping that you can say click join the bid at the right time. And to me, that's why I typically don't trade a stock when it has the extended decimal places. Anyway, has a nice pullback here. I've seen this pattern, you know, dozens, hundreds of times. I don't know. I like this pattern. Basically, we have big resistance right above here, and I'm looking for that resistance to crack. We do that. It's about a 15-16% move. I sell a little bit early because, again, I can't really decide when to sell. I just say join the ask, and it was, you know, in this area, and the price was basically just going up and down like this. And you don't know if the move's over, right? You don't know if the next candle is going to be a big red candle. So I'm like, I'm going to lock in profits, made 11% on this trade, roughly, maybe even more. So this was a really sweet trade out of the gates. I could have bought the pullback here, but I didn't. And I missed this one, which is a little unfortunate because this was a big run. This was a 27% run. I would have never probably held into this 249 area, but I probably would have took either all or half of my profits here on the break back above it. I don't know. This could have been a third trade, you know? So in the market, the first 15 minutes, that's when you can get all your trading in for the day. And I'm looking forward to a morning where I do that because I like these moves in the morning. I tend to always snag, not always, but oftentimes my biggest winners are from the morning. And then I don't know, in the evening, sometimes I have like a nice 5% break trade, sometimes a nice 9% trade. Sometimes I lose 3 trades in a row. It's a little bit choppy. It's not that clean, like boom. DLPN, like I said, I wasn't super confident that it would hold its highs. So I bought the dip here because this dip was pretty aggressive. The only problem is I bought it too early. I thought we were going to, you know, retest this kind of breakout zone in terms of like 210. So I bought it 211, kept on pulling back here. I was down probably like 5%, bounced back up, eventually closed my position. Not the best, lost 9 cents a share on that one. And that on a $2 stock, that's, you know, it's not the best because that's like a 4 or 5% loss. It's not the nicest. Anyway, keeps pulling back. So good thing I cut my losses because, I mean, imagine I went through this dip. Imagine I was down 10% on that trade. That would have been a pretty miserable, you know, making, let's say 11% and then giving back, you know, over 11%. That's like not how you want to start your day. Either way, I was up $54 at the end of this. And I was like, okay, whatever. I did all right. I kind of gave back almost half my profit. That's not so great. I should have probably threw in the towel there, but I was like, you know what? Let's wait. Let's see if we can find a really, really good setup. What I did do right, though, out of the gates is I stuck to my plan. I knew DLPN was a lead gapper. I knew this was a stock that has the potential to rip higher. So I was like, let me put this one on my second screen. So I was watching DLPN. So I did that right. I did at least part of today right, which is nice. Let's go now to CIDM, which was the second stock I traded. What are we looking at? Where are we? CIDM. This thing was rally Sally. Oh my Lord, baby Jesus. It was looking so good. I should have been trading this one pre-market. So I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit because pre-market was the best time to trade CIDM. And honestly, like pre-market has been on fire lately. I'm a little cautious about tomorrow because Fridays are always kind of a hit and miss kind of day. You don't know if there's going to be a lot of people trading or if everyone's on holiday. You just don't. And sometimes Fridays are very weak. But sometimes they're very strong. So if I see something, building up big momentum again like this, I would love to trade it. Anyway, let me zoom in here a little bit. Pre-market, CIDM was originally gapping up 85% when I first looked at it. Then it was gapping up 170%. I think it was well over 170% by the time it actually opened. Let me quickly check here again. My God, this rally is just insane. So opened up somewhere here or closed here at 1.3 roughly, and we ran up, where is this, somewhere here. So yeah, we're up about 250% pre-market. This thing is totally overextended, and you know how I feel about these. I don't feel super comfortable oftentimes trading these things after such a strong rally pre-market, so I didn't trade this one. Not to mention it had an 88 million float. What's up with that? That's a huge float for this thing to be moving so much. US entertainment company with a catalyst, Bob Ross channel distribution. If you guys know anything about Bob Ross, and his kind of, well, he passed away unfortunately, but he has, it's a huge brand, right, with a huge following. It's kind of like this painting stuff. Anyway, apparently they're doing some partnerships and they're getting the channel to more audiences, yada yada, making it available to streaming networks. Point is, like, I didn't think the catalyst was so hot, but I guess it was. So you never want to overjudge a catalyst. You want to identify it has a catalyst. Something significant. I mean, Bob Ross, that's a huge name, so I guess I should have been more, bullish towards that alone. But you don't really know how great a catalyst is always, unless, you study this topic your whole life and you're like, this is huge, right? But like me, I mean, this is a random company I know nothing about. So why am I judging the catalyst so hard? I don't know. That's maybe a bad tendency on my end. Anyway, we kind of hold our highs here, and when we started having this kind of nice red to green move on CIDM, I just kind of realized this is a red to green move. Really sweet here, really aggressive. Oh my Lord, very aggressive red to green move. We pull back 1, 2, 3 candles, fourth red candle in a row. Then we finally have this candle making a high. I probably would have got faked out here, but then this move, 44%. So huge opportunity on this one, but again, you got to know, you have to have kind of a plan that you're going to stick to on this one. This is not so easy of a trade, I think, or maybe it's super easy and I'm just overlooking it. But the one time I did want to trade CIDM and I kind of regret it is right here when we broke 4.5. I had like my finger on the trigger and I just didn't click. Like I don't know why. I should have done it. This thing runs up here. Never pulls back more than a few percent, and then rips again. So huge, nice move on CDIM. Congrats to anyone that got it. I didn't, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I was quite bullish on this stock though. After I saw this nice move and I was watching it in hindsight, I was like, okay, well, it's probably going to have a pretty serious retracement. The chance of this thing pulling back a little bit is probably pretty high. It had some nice bounces on the way. I never really felt totally comfortable with buying any of the bounces. I almost bought this bounce here, but I was waiting for this to go into the 70s. We hit 385 and I was waiting for like 375. Again, nice little bounce here, 15%. When we pulled back from this one, I was like, okay, it's go time. It looks like we're going to be breaking VWAP. Let me buy here. We were charging up here, but then we got rejected. And I lost kind of big on this one. This was like a bigger loss here. This was my third trade on the day. I tried to get out here in the 90s, 390s. Didn't work. Then I tried to get out in the 80s, didn't work. And then I tried to get out in the 70s, finally got it. But at that time, the flush was basically over. So I basically got out at a pretty low spot, which is a little bit annoying. So this trade, this was a good, what is this? 25 cents plus 28 cents a share. So definitely on the higher end, we're talking like 6% probably roughly. I don't know. Well, actually, yeah, I don't know. Not the best trade, kind of a disappointment. It was tough because after this trade, I was up $98 on the day or so, and mind you, I'm trading with $800 position sizes, so being up $90 on the day is pretty nice. Now I gave up half of my profits on the first trade, and then I gave up basically I was negative $2 after this trade, and I was like, oh man, I was feeling a little bummed after this one. I still had high hopes for CIDM though, and again here I was kind of thinking we were going to break higher. We did 9% move. I bought the pullback, looking for a continuation. We just got a few little, tad bits here, 6-7%, and eventually I got shaken out like right before the little bounce here. But ultimately the CIDM pulls back, and it never really amounted to anything. So it's good that I cut my losses, but it's tough because on CIDM, I could have made 5% on this trade, and I could have made another 5% on this trade. So ultimately, I could have been up like 20% today based on our average position sizes. All I would have had to do is hold this one just like another 3 minutes, and this one I just would have had to take my profits when we didn't get the big fall through that I was waiting for. So it's kind of like one of those days where you're just like, I was so close today, so close. Just made a few mistakes. It is what it is though, and ultimately we are growing our account. And just really quickly here, something I want to kind of talk about and that I find kind of important to note here is that if you just go to the stats tab on Trade Journal, and this is something that you guys can all do on your own stats. I just want to kind of go through the filters a little bit, and I want to talk about this month because this month was pretty hot. When was it? Let me think here for a second. This month was pretty hot at first. We were on a really, really nice start, and I was up like $150 out of the gates. And I was like, okay, well, this could be quite a strong month. I don't know why my computer's going so slow right now. This is ridiculous. So let me just type in here and then type in for this month, 05. Oh wait, no, this month is not 05. It is June 1st. Let me go. Why is this taking so long? June 1st, 2020. Okay, you could type it, guys. That's always nice and convenient. Also, whenever you're trying to show something, it tends to not work that well. Anyway, so we've made 15 trades now, and I have a negative P&L profit win and loss ratio, but we're still up $61 because I'm taking my profits pretty typically between 4 and 8%. That's what I like. My biggest trade is 11%. My biggest loss is 5%, and my average loser is only 2.84%. So typically my winning ratio is over 50%. I mean, that's pretty standard, but it just shows that even with a coin flip of a win ratio, you can still be profitable. You just got to cut your losses quickly. And I was thinking today on the live stream, I was like, oh man, I'm only up $61 this month. But then if you look at it, our average position size, since we're still doing the small account challenge, is $846. So being up 61% of that is actually pretty sweet. That means I'm up 7% kind of on our average position size. So it's all just kind of a percentage thing. And with trading, if you want to make more money, don't take more risk, just increase your position size, as long as that's allocated properly. So everything is going well on the challenge. It's just I still, even though we're several months into the challenge, I still haven't mentally grasped the fact that like $60 is good, which is ridiculous, but it's just one of those things. And yesterday was like my worst phase. That was the doorman issue or the mailman, and I had 4 red trades in a row yesterday. I've probably never had that. Actually, my max consecutive losing trades is 4, so this is like as bad as it gets for me. But even with our biggest red day yesterday, just cutting losses quickly, it never really was that bad. And then our green trades are always a little bit better. So I just need to kind of get in the saddle a little bit better, and then just I don't know. I really need to get more aggressive in the first 15 minutes. Like if I see back-to-back good setups, I just got to jump on them. And the market's hot right now, so there's no reason not to do that. By the way, guys, you will all be able to check out all of my trades on this $25,000 challenge. You guys will be able to see all my stats, all that fun stuff. You'll be able to go through the pictures and study the trades yourself, study which patterns am I using. That's going to be available in probably, it's tough to say, maybe like a month and a half, maybe 2 months, could be 3 months. It really depends on what kind of technical issues we have with the code. But basically, I'm going to have my profile page. Everyone's going to have their profile page. And then you guys can see, click on my portfolio, the $25,000 challenge, and then study all of my trades. you guys will also be able to publish your portfolios, and you will also be able to hide certain portfolios. So if you guys don't want to show any of your trades, you don't have to. That's totally fine. I totally understand that some people would like to be a bit more private. And I also have, accounts, different accounts, and it's exhausting showing everything, like in terms of like my long-term investments and then this and that, because I like to be a little bit more focused here. So on this channel, I really want to be focusing on, just a few things at once, ideally just the $25,000 challenge. In the future, I could, start talking about my dividend portfolio. I can start talking about a bit more stuff. But for now, I figured this is a bit easier. Also, if you guys want to get, shouted out your trades, we always post on Trade Journal some trades that are really, really nice. And we'll shout you out and we'll follow you on our social accounts. So if you guys are interested in that, don't forget to post your trades here. And ultimately, also don't forget to document or not document your trades. That's number one. But don't forget to come here on your profile account where you go here and then click on an account and then just go here and edit and just make sure to add your social accounts, because a lot of people will post their trades or document their trades and they have social promotions checked. So that basically gives Trade Journal the green light to post your trades, and then just add your social accounts. That way we can link back to them. By the way, if you guys are wondering, is Trade Journal free? Yes, it's totally free. There's no charge. So I don't feel bad talking about it on this channel. It's what I used to document my trades. I used to use Google Sheets, and now I use Trade Journal because it's basically, I can do the same as Google Sheets, but a little bit more. And there's a bunch of more stats coming. There's going to be a calendar, so you can see calendar view of your P&L. It's going to be pretty cool stuff. Right now you can't import your trades. I know that was a question that came up several times, but that will be available. I don't know if it's going to be available this year, but it's on the to-do list, and it's high on the to-do list. It's a bigger feature. So there's a few more things that need to get done before we can really focus on API imports. And there's also so many brokerages, right? So it's like we have to kind of get to that point first, and then we'll start nailing away the brokers. All right, guys, that's all I really want to talk about with Trade Journal. I feel like it's important that you guys see the stats, and I want to mention the stats every now and then again, because it gives me a lot to reflect on, and I think it's also going to be helpful for all of you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Obviously, I can always adjust what I talk about a little bit more, but this is the first time I'm really bringing it up. So maybe once a month or a few times a month, just kind of mentioning it, especially to all the new people, is always good. All right, guys, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy the content. It's always good fun here. The community is just on fire lately. I really enjoy trading with you guys, and I can't wait to keep growing the challenge. Small red day today, unfortunately, because I just overstayed my welcome, I guess. $3 loss on the day, but it is what it is. Remember to consider subscribing if you're new. We go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. to trade the market open. First, we review the watch list, and then at 9:30 we trade the market open. I will see you guys first thing tomorrow. And like always, guys, stay safe, make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.